Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of Reading Lorman's Brute. Last time we saw the downfall of Cordelia. Cordelia was captured by her nephews, Morgan and Cunadagius, and while in prison and badly mistreated by them, she took her own life. The situation between Cunadagius and Morgan then deteriorated, with Morgan causing all kinds of problems for Cunadagius and then running away, basically. And Cunadagius pursues him to Wales, where he then defeats Morgan, and he himself becomes the king of Britain. And so we pick up just immediately after that at line 1937. After 30 winter kom the day that Cunadagius dead lie. He hefte an son rechne, Riwald was he hatten. He was wys, he was fire, he wilde that riche hair. Al hit hine lovede, that livede in Londe. And dan ilke time her kom a selketh taken. Sulche haar neer ne kom, ne never certain hitherto. From heavene her kom a selkuth flowed. 3 dages hid rinde blowed. 3 dies and 3 nicht, that was swother muchel plicht. Da the Rhine was agan, her kom hither taken anon. After 30 winters came the day that Cunadagius lay dead. He had a fierce son. He was called Riwald. He was wise, he was fair, or attractive. He ruled that rich or powerful army. All that lived in the land loved him. In the same time, here came, a marvelous sign. Such a thing never before came here, nor ever afterwards to here. So there's nothing like it ever happened before or since. From the heavens, there came here a marvelous flood. 3 days it rained blood. 3 days and 3 nights. That was a very great situation, a very incredible thing, essentially. When the rain was finished, here came to here, so there came here, essentially, a sign at once, or an omen at once. Her komen blak vlegen en vloeken in monne egen. In her mouth, in her neuze, her lief hem erd al to leuze. Swilch far vleugen there was, that her fretten that corn and that gras. Woe was al then volk, the wooneden unfolden. Thereafter kom swulke mon qualm, that lut her quick leften. Certain her kom a strong red, that Riwald king I werth dead. Riwald king havde an son, Gorgustius I haten. His lond he huld half year, and suthen he adun halde. Thereafter kom Cecilius, he was son her dead. Suthen kom Lago, the 8 weke livede. Suthen kom King Marke, he was 30 weken king. Here came black flies. So this is the sign that followed the omen that followed the omen of the rain of blood. Lorman refers to them both as Tarkans, signs. So here came black flies, meaning locusts or something, and they flew into men's eyes. In their mouth and in their nose, their life went all to lose from them. So people died as a result. Such a plague of flies there was, or was here, that they ate the corn and the grass, or the vegetation, the crops, essentially. Woe was all the people who dwelled in the land, or on the earth. Thereafter came such a plague that few here remained alive. Afterwards, here came a strong council, so a severe bit of news, that King Riwald became dead, had died. Riwald, King Riwald, had one son called Gergustius. His land, so Gergustius held for half a year, and afterwards he fell down. Thereafter came Cecilius. He was soon dead here. Afterwards came Lago, who lived for 8 weeks. Afterwards came King Mark. He was king for 30 weeks. There kom Gorbodiago. He was 5 year god king. The king havet 2 sonen, bijna Unicelie. The eldere hechte Fereus, the youngere hechte Poreus. Thus brethren weren zwaar woud, and zwaar witherwaarde, that al her weren unsachte, and al her weren unsume, and either had den other, swane sulde nawicht brother. And bijen mid onde, her weren in disse lande, that Gorbidiagus, her father of his sonnen, was affared. For oft beforen him sulven, her begunnen to fuchten. Then came Gorbidiago. He was a good king for 5 years. The king had 2 sons. Both were wretched or unfortunate. The elder was called Ferius, the younger was called Poreus. These brothers were so mad and so hostile towards one another that they were all unpeace. They were all in conflict with each other, and they were completely ununited, so completely divided. And each hated the other as no brother should at all. So no brother should ever hate another brother the way these two hated each other. And they were both with envy in this land, so that Gorbidiagus, their father, was afraid or terrified of his sons, for often they began to fight before himself, so in his presence. The aldere zeide that al this land he wild halden on his agere hand, the yngere him gef such answer, ich de slag mid mine speer, though het sulle agen, the huile each been on lieve. Poreus have the herte swa Luther, and swa Lothim was his brother, that swiken he him wilde, as summes kunnes wiesen. Ferius het die herte sudgen, doch stoth vaste worden, that his brother hine wilde slaan, therefore he was full sorry. The elder brother said that he would hold all this land in his own hand. The younger gave him such answer, or answered him thus: before you do that, I slay you, and this is the present tense used to indicate the future. So before that, I will slay you with my spear, before you shall own or possess it, the land. The while, so as long as I be alive, as long as I'm alive. Poreus had the heart so wicked, so he had such a wicked heart, and his brother was so hateful to him that he wished to betray him in some sort of way. Ferius heard it said through true words, that his brother wished to slay him, therefore he was utterly sorrowful. He ferde away over sea, that him thuchte selest. He funde in Fransene erd den a king, the hecht suard. He bad him herdsomnesse, herren that he him wilde, bean him for hold knecht, bar bedie and be nicht. The king was glad for his kime, and for den knechtes that komme mit hine, and held hine on erde, and hechliche hine klepeden, full 7 year, bid don king he woneden there, that king the havde equemed, and alswa there equene. Tha serve year were na líðan, tha bad he leva, ferren that he wulde into this a land. He, Ferius, went away over the sea, that seemed best to him. He found in the land of the French the king who was called Suard. He, Ferius, offered him, Suard, fealty, that he, Ferius, would honour him, Suard. To be to him, Suard, as a loyal knight, both by day and by night. The king was glad for his, Ferius's, arrival, and for the knights that came with him, and held him, Ferius, in the land, so retained him as a knight, and called him highly, so spoke to him honourably. He's treated as an honoured knight. Full 7 years with the king he dwelt there, he being Ferius, of course, so that he, Ferius, had pleased the king and also the queen. When 7 years had gone, then he asked leave, that he wished to go into this land, so he wanted to come back to Britain. The king him lende unaffärd of his kennest folk. Himself he sende sonde weed jörn that lande, after alle den knichten, the he begete michten, and he tog klippede muchelen his ferde, and all mid isunde kom to this lande. Anan hör begunne fuchte, and falde das lörden, and his brother Poreus ferde him togenes, mid dan stronge fechte, Ferius he felden, and alle his ferde he leiden to folde. The king, so Suard, the king of the French, gave him, Ferius, an army of his boldest or his bravest folk. He sent messengers himself far throughout the land, after all the knights who he could get hold of, and he called up, summoned his great army, and all with well-being, so all safe and sound, he, Ferius, came to this land. At once they began to fight, and he felled this people, so the British people who were serving his brother Poreus, and his brother Poreus went against him. And with the strong fight, so with a great battle, he, Poreus, felled Ferius, and all his army he laid to the earth. And that is where we shall leave off for today. So, as ever, if you have any comments, questions, corrections, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can do that either by way of the comment section below or via the Facebook page, which you'll find linked in the video description. Thank you very much for listening, all the best, and I'll see you next time.